Hey, everybody out there in Twitchland. It is Doc here again with the game time. It's Doc, Lurch, and Angel. Angel will not be with us this week. We were not able to get him on the schedule with his other work commitments. But Lurch will be here soon. He's trying to connect right now, having a little bit of difficulty connecting. I'm going to double check that the sound is still working because Discord didn't work there for a second. I want to make sure it didn't take over my microphone. So let me make sure you guys can hear me. So let's do another sound check. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, it does look like you can hear me. Still waiting on Lurch to come in. For those who don't know, we do game time every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the Ozarks. Game, of course, coming from the Gaming Arts Media and Entertainment Expo, which kind of brought all of us together. We just had the last game here, the 14th, 15th, and 16th of October. October was, of course, the traditional month for game. And the one year we weren't going to have it in October ended up not happening because of COVID. The 1 year. And then we ended up not having it for 2 years, actually. But we pretty much always had it in October. It was a great success. We had a lot of fun. And as you can see in the center panel right now on the screen, we do have the after party coming up in a little less than a month over at 1984. Now, unlike previous years where the after party has mainly been about just the people who worked for the con, this year, everybody who was involved with the con, you be an exhibitor, game master, or just an attendee, everybody is invited to the after party. Come out 1984 on November 20th. Here in Springfield from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and enjoy, video games there and pizza. You can go on to the Eclectic Endeavors group in Facebook and find the link to the event, and you can say you're going so that they can plan the right amount of pizza to order because it doesn't cost anything to get in the event. Pizza is provided. The cabinet games are provided, and then pinball is available, but I don't know. I think you may have to pay quarters for pinball, although in the past they have put several credits on the pinball machines as well, but you can also pay to play additional pinball. And then, of course, there's drinks there, and we have a good time. And it's basically just a thank you for the great year. And in this case, a thank you for 12 great years of game, because this was officially year 12, even though it would have been chronologically year 14. Oh, wow, that screen looks pretty bad. I don't know. Are we going to be getting Lurch at all this time around?
Something wrong?
Oh, your screen looks like a whole bunch of weird snow. Let me see here. Okay, it's reloading. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, we are logged in, just so Lurch knows. I was doing the sound check in the introduction, talking about the after party for game that is coming up on November 20th, because for once we're kind of throwing it open to the public. Anybody who attended game as a vendor, a game master, just an attendee, as well as the henchmen and the various staff are welcome to this final thank you party for game on the 20th of November at 1984. If you've never been to 1984, it's a wonderful video arcade environment and homage to the 80s with stuff about the Ghostbusters and Back to the Future and a lot of classic 80s memorabilia. But then there's also the classic cabinet video games, which is one of my favorite things to do. And then, like I said, there's pinball there that you can play. Now, pinball is not always 100% free, but they do tend to put several credits on the pinball machine during the party, and then you can pay to play additional pinball once those credits run out. Or you could check with Chris. He might throw some more credits on. You never know. Chris and John being, of course, co-owners of 1984, as well as our chairman and vice chairman for all 12 years of game. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. A lot of us will be there on Sunday, November 20th. So come on out. If you didn't get a chance to go to the last game, but you've been to game before and you've been one of our supporters and you really wish you could have gone but didn't make it for some reason, maybe you can make it to the thank you party and still have that one last thank you and goodbye to the staff for that. And remember, if I came and talked to you at game or elsewhere about keeping game going for the alumni of game, get back with me and I will get you the details about how to join my exclusive game. Yes, I can see you now. All right, Lurch is actually coming through. Let's see here. Hold on, let me get you on the panel.
There we go.
Right now you're not on the panel, but we will get you there.
Okay, I can hear you now. Is my camera working now?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Okay, and you are in the broadcast screen too. So great. Anyway, like I said, come on down to game, thank you party, and enjoy that with us. And remember, if I got with you during game, or if you're one of the game alumni and you want to know how to join and keep game going through our private game Discord channel, what you need to do is, get with me, message me on Facebook, find me at the thank you party, whatever, and I'll get your contact information. I'll invite you to the Discord server, and then when you join the Discord server, message me privately so it's not up in the open channel so a bot or a troll couldn't duplicate it. And let me know how I know you, who you are, and I will give you permissions to go into the locked game alumni channels, and we can keep game going year round with all the great stuff that we've got going on, because we're really a family, and it's an ecosystem. It's what I was calling during the con. You know how you've heard of an artist colony? Well, we're a nerdist colony, and we like to feed off of everybody's nerdy energies, and so that was great. And I do want to keep that going. We've got a few people who have already joined on my Discord, and if you want to just join my Discord, period, to chat about the show, talk and stuff, if you exclamation Discord in the chat, the bot will throw up a link to my Discord server. And you can join the general Discord server. And then, like I said, if you send me a message to let me know how I know you from game, I can actually let you into the locked alumni chats too. We're only got it locked so that I can keep out bots and advertisers and trolls and all the drama and toxicity that comes from a lot of social media sites. That's why we're not keeping in contact via Facebook and stuff. Eventually, we all kind of get tired of Facebook and MySpace and all of those different things. If you even remember MySpace.
I was about to say, who is still on MySpace? Not even Tom's on MySpace anymore.
I don't think I've opened my MySpace page in so long. I don't know if it would even open.
The last time I tried to get into my MySpace is because I was wanting to see if I had some old photos on there that I hadn't seen in a long time. And I found that my MySpace account does not exist.
It probably doesn't. Yeah, I haven't tried it in years myself. So I just thought I'd throw that in there for some real nostalgia. Anyway, we've got a little bit of a show for you guys today. Like I said previously, Angel is not with us, but me and Lurch will endeavor to fill the airwaves anyway. We have done it just the two of us before, so I don't think it'll be that much of a problem now. There wasn't a lot of media this week, and Lurch did not get out to see Black Adam because of the flu. It has happened, so it is just unfortunately it's very rare that I see a movie before Lurch sees it.
Yeah.
He usually
Yeah.
has seen it twice or three times before I see it. But he has not seen it because of the flu, so we're not even going to do our non-spoiler of Black Adam this week. So we'll just go right into the spoiler next week, hopefully, if he can manage to see it. If not, we might push it another week back. But that's okay. It was a great movie, I will say that. But I don't want to go into too much about that. But we've got some topics for you. Let's go ahead and get started. And let me see, what did I queue up for the first topic today? The jack-o'-lantern origin and Irish myths. Now, a lot of people may or may not know the jack-o'-lantern, which is a classic part of Halloween, is now a carved, spooky face, or scene nowadays. We do scenes and everything in pumpkins, but originally it was actually a creepy face carved into a turnip, of all things. Now, I've seen turnips, but turnips are mostly about the size of a softball or less. So that's a lot more intricate carving than a big gourd like a pumpkin. Pumpkins can get huge. I've seen pumpkins as big as almost as big as a VW Beetle.
I've seen about half of that. They can get huge.
I've seen them at award-winning pumpkins from like fall festivals and stuff that have gotten as big as VW Beetles. I mean, they're huge. I mean, they literally look like they came out of the Cinderella stagecoach. They were that big of a pumpkin. But they also come as small as like, baseball sized or smaller. So there's all kinds of different sizes of pumpkins, but the original was a turnip. As it says, pumpkins with ghoulish faces and illuminated by candles are a sure sign of the Halloween season. The practice of decorating jack-o'-lanterns originated in Ireland, where large turnips and potatoes served as early canvases. In fact, the name jack-o'-lantern comes from an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. Irish immigrants brought the tradition to America, home of the pumpkin, and it became an integral part of the Halloween festival. This actually, I'm going to put the link up in the chat for this because I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously. But this includes the legend of Stingy Jack, which is the legend that really brings us the jack-o'-lantern in the first place. Basically, though they've been making the jack-o'-lantern for Halloween for centuries, practice originated from the myth about Stingy Jack. According to the story, Jack invited the devil to have a drink with him. True to his name, Stingy Jack didn't want to pay for his drink, so he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin that Jack could use to buy their drinks. Once the devil did so, Jack decided to keep the money and put it into his pocket next to a silver cross, which prevented the devil from changing back into his original form. We all try to trick the devil. We know how that is. It's common folklore to try to trick the devil into things, and the devil always gets its due, as they say. And he eventually freed the devil under the condition that he would not bother Jack for 1 year, and that should Jack die, he would not claim his soul. The next year, Jack again tricked the devil into climbing into a tree to pick a piece of fruit. While he was up in the tree, Jack carved a sign at the cross into the tree's bark so that the devil could not come down until the devil promised Jack not to bother him for 10 more years, and so on. So he kept tricking the devil, and of course the devil doesn't like this, so he eventually comes back and gets old Jack. And you can read the rest of the story yourselves, but I wanted to touch on classic folklore for Halloween, that being the Halloween week, and everything. And us nerds, we love folklore and trivia and costumes and jack-o'-lanterns and all that kind of stuff. I'll be wearing my jack-o'-lantern T-shirt later on in the week in celebration of Halloween myself. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the ghouls and ghosties. Hopefully some new ones will come by our house now that we've got our own home here in Springfield. When we lived in the trailer park, we never got any trick-or-treaters, but we've actually got trick-or-treating little bags full of candy that we're going to give out, and even pencils and spider rings and things like that too. So we're looking forward to seeing the trick-or-treaters and seeing the costumes. One of the things I love about going to gaming conventions is to see all the cosplay costumes, and Halloween to me is just a big worldwide gaming convention cosplay event, and I want to see all the costumes. I think Lurch agrees with that. We love costumes.
Yeah,
we love cosplayers.
Awesome.
Costumes and cosplayers are some of our best friends. I mean, we have to love it. We're both thespians and everything. We love costumes and cosplay. All right.
I'm not dressing up this year.
I'm just putting on a t-shirt. I mean, a jack-o'-lantern t-shirt's going to be my extent this year.
Yeah. But I'm hoping to do more next year. I mean,
I can't handle the mask over my face anymore because of the claustrophobia and stuff. But that doesn't mean I won't do some stuff. I'm still hoping to eventually put together my Elminster, the All-Sage costume, because I already look like a D&D wizard. I just need the cloak and the staff and everything. And I wouldn't need much as far as anything else to make it to where I look like Elminster from Forgotten Realms. I mean, I've got a couple people already convinced I am Elminster from Forgotten Realms. So it's one of the ones I always wanted to do at game and never managed to pull it off. I need a really good cloak, and then I need to take my walking staff, and I want to do like some paper mache and paint and stuff and make a dragon's head and put it on the top, and then put LED lights in the eyes and stuff like that. But that's a more expensive thing, which I don't know if I'll ever get around to doing or not. But if you've ever seen some of the cosplayers here in the Ozarks, I'm telling you now, people that are listening, if you've not, we have got some amazing costumers and prop developers in this area. Our Ghostbusters of the Ozark are fully decked out. We've got a couple of ecto vehicles in the area, and you could always see in front of game, we always parked one or two. You okay there, Lurch? Still got that flu killing you, huh?
Yeah. I'm at the tail end of it, but it's still...
Yeah.
So I'm not quite as talkative today as I normally would be because I'm still overcoming this.
I totally get you. But yeah, if you've never got a chance to go to game, one of the things that we always had parked out front were the ecto vehicles for the Ghostbusters, and they usually put a really big Ghostbuster display up. This year they had the Demon Dog statue. I mean, I could stand right next to it. It looked like they were twins. No, but there's Slimer, and they've got the big mural poster of Vigo from Ghostbusters 2, and all the people walking around with different costumes on. We usually get one or two Batman costumes during different years. We've had we've got a local celebrity. I can't even think of his name right now, but he comes in a really decked out Riddler costume here in town. We've got so many other cosplayers. We did a panel on who? Yeah,
Spoofar.
Yeah, Spoofar. He comes in with a great Riddler costume. I didn't see him this year though.
I don't think he came out this year.
Yeah, I don't think he made it this year. But we had a panel on creating unique characters in cosplay, as well as having an author's panel on writing creative characters from one of our horror genre authors. D.A. Roberts did that panel. So we had a couple of panels on creating characters. Yeah, so creating characters is a lot of the fun of game. and making new characters and doing different cosplay. My own girlfriend and I, we have a booth called in Sophia Sophisticated Sensations where we sell a lot of knit and crochet items, including we did sell one of the big Tom Baker scarves for Doctor Who this year, which is a great cosplay item. If you've ever watched classic Doctor Who, the fourth Doctor, the first one to air in the United States, was Tom Baker, and his iconic thing, other than his big wide-brimmed hat and duster, was this really long multicolored scarf that he wore. And we sold one of those this year. And we have another one available, actually, but we sold one of them. And we also have like Harry Potter house scarves and things like that too. We've got dice bags and things, but they can all be added into your cosplay, help you make a statement. And we have people in the area that can help you really trick out your cosplay into that next level for, even if all you want to do is make Halloween that much more. But we're going to move on from this topic to our first topic from Lurch, which I do believe is more about the Bayonetta actress. We talked a little bit about her last episode.
Yeah. So, Helena Taylor, the original voice actress from the first two Bayonetta games, which we talked about last week, we had a story about how she claimed that she was only offered $4,000, and Bloomberg and VGC came back with articles saying that she was actually offered closer to $15,000 for doing the work. And now Helena Taylor's has responded to that, and it's a very interesting, kind of weird response, because she claims that the Bloomberg article is lying, but then also does admit that she was actually offered $15,000 for the role, and that and she turned down the $15,000. And reportedly requested a six-figure sum plus residuals. Because of because she feels that's what she's owed. That's what her voice is worth for the game because of the popularity of the game. All that notwithstanding, kind of the big thing is, according to her now, she was offered $10,000 at first to reprise her role, and she turned that down. And then she spoke with like the creator of it. What was his name? She talked to Hideki Kamiya at Platinum Games, and he increased it to $15,000. And then she still after she still turned that down, they then got Jennifer Hale, but then they still came to her and offered her $4,000 for some lines as a flat fee. So it wasn't reprising the whole role. It was, however many lines, some lines to do $4,000, which she also turned down. She claims that there was no extensive talks. And she claims that the $4,000 per session for 5 sessions is total fabrications, even though the total of that comes out to the same, comes out to around the same of what she's now admitting she was offered. So now she's saying that she was offered the same approximate dollar amount that everyone else is saying, just the specifics of how she was going to be paid is a fabrication. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Sorry. However, I do want to go ahead and go on with mentioning that this game has been doing because the game comes out in just a few days, and it's got reviews coming out, and it seems to be doing some solid reviews. It looks like it's currently averaging around an 80% in a lot of places. And I had the article on the other computer. I switched computers because the other one was not working. So let me try to pull this up here. Let's see. IGN gave it a, because I was looking at reviews, I had them pulled up, and now I've got them kind of lost. Yeah, how to score? Okay, IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, and so I was seeing some 9 out of 10s, I was seeing some 5 out of 5s, I've seen some 4 out of 5s. So it looks like it's overall doing well in the reviews. And apparently the pre-orders on it, I've read, I'm not sure how accurate this is, but reportedly the pre-orders apparently went up after Taylor reported after this whole report came out about her being underpaid and then her not being underpaid. So I guess that helped. My guess is that that news story ended up getting the game more eyes, which reminded more people that the game was inevitably coming out very soon.
It just helps it.
Yeah, nothing sells better than a boycott.
Yeah, boycotts do one of two things. They either get people up in arms or they get people buying it in support, and or in contrariness to support. Just to be contrary to the boycott, people will come in and buy something. And let's face it. I mean, a flat $4,000 fee for all their lines, if that was true, might have been a little underpaid, but $4,000 a session for 5 sessions is not bad pay for voice acting.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
3,000 to 4,000 when the average is somewhere around 2. So she was getting paid decent money. Yeah, sure, the franchise might be worth $450 million or whatever, but as we had talked about last week, the voice actor is not necessarily as vital to the success of a series as they think they might be. They are replaceable. And they have to pay everybody out of that, and including all the years of development on the game, when they're not making any money while they're still doing development. So, I mean, I don't know. As we know with all stories, there's 3 sides to every story. What they said, what the other group said, and then what actually happened, which is usually somewhere in the middle. I don't see her actually asking for like $250,000, but I also don't see them only paying her $4,000. I think it is probably pretty much closer to the 4 to 5 sessions at $3,000 to $4,000 a piece. Is probably closer.
I do find it interesting that what she now admits to what she was actually offered being exactly the same amount as the Bloomberg article said that she was offered. It's pretty telling. I think.
Yeah.
It gives a lot more credence to the Bloomberg article than not. But I think she had to admit that much because I do think that the Bloomberg and others had verifiable evidence, verifiable proof that her information was inaccurate.
They probably had some actual copies of the correspondence that they would have shown if they had to. They didn't have to because she came through and admitted at least part of it. Okay. Well, that's a follow-up on last week, which is good. We said we were going to follow up a little bit more on that. So, see, we actually follow through. Good of us. And we'll keep people apprised of other things as they go on in our stories. If we find new information on a story we run previously, we'd like to try to come back with that. Now on to something that's really I find kind of exciting. I don't know if Lurch has heard about it yet because I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it. But James Gunn has now signed a contract with DC to be co-CEO of the DC studios for at least a 4-year exclusive contract. So James Gunn, in cooperation with Peter Safran, are going to be helming the DC filming for the next at least 4 years. I find this rather exciting because Gunn has been one of the producers that has brought out some of the best cinematic offerings in comic books. I mean, his version of the Suicide Squad was so much better than the original Suicide Squad. His Guardians of the Galaxy was so iconic. The first two were so great that if he wasn't coming back for the third, people like Batista were not going to come back either. He is a hardcore comic book fan, which means he brings true fan service to the movies, and I think that is an important aspect that we need in a person in charge of that part of the media sector. If we're going to have movies coming out in the DC universe and in the Marvel universe, we need to have somebody at the helm who has a true respect for the traditions of Marvel and DC Comics, and James Gunn happens to qualify. Not to mention he's got a great eye for both talent and direction and visual effects and everything, and that comes together to make a good product.
I mean, he's been able to make, like, he managed to take the Suicide Squad, which previously was a flop, and turn it into a big success. And then made a successful spin-off TV series about about a couple of the characters that were nobodies before James Gunn got his hands on them. To make them into, beloved characters that people want more of. People want more of Peacemaker.
Right.
And he did the same thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He took this team that only hardcore nerds knew anything about. The general public didn't, and now
this
they
one
are
of the
highlights
beloved
of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, and he did what Taika Waititi only tried to do, which he injected a massive dose of comedy into the comic book movies, but it was accepted. Where Taika Waititi, it's kind of hot and cold. Some people accept it, some don't. I mean, me personally, I liked Taika Waititi's take on Thor and stuff. I loved the Thor movies, the most recent one especially, but it's getting hot and cold reception. But James Gunn's movies are like pretty much universally accepted as hilarious. And
some people do. There's some people out there who think the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie has the too many jokes thing in it, but otherwise. Other than that, everyone seems pretty universally like his work.
Most people can't deny that Baby Groot is like a star, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Baby Groot is awesome.
The I Am Groot animated bit was pretty great. We just got the trailer. I think it dropped today for the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
And I just watched it. It's hilarious.
Introducing Kevin Bacon as Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
They go to Earth
to kidnap.
So they go to Earth, and the Guardians want to gift the legendary Kevin Bacon to Star-Lord to cheer him up for the holidays.
For losing,
Because he lost Gamora.
Gamora, right. And then, it looks so cute. And and the look on Kevin Bacon's face when they show up at his door. Oh, my God. That was great.
That looks like it's going to be pretty great.
This is the second in the new tradition of special presentations for Disney Plus. This one is supposed to run between 45 minutes and an hour. The general rule of thumb for the special presentations, as I heard it, was anything under an hour and 45 minutes, but different from a serialized offer. So we have the episodic serialized offers, like WandaVision and She-Hulk and all of those that run in multiple half-hour to hour episodes. Or we have movies which are over an hour and 45 minutes. And then in between, we now have the special presentations that are for holidays and one-offs that
Do you think
don't quite make the movies.
Do you think this Guardians of the Galaxy special is going to be during the same Christmas, the same Christmas season as the Hawkeye series was? Because that happened on Christmas.
I don't know. It might. It would be interesting if they came across Hawkeye while they were out and about in. Well, they're supposed to be in Hollywood though, not New York. And
In LA.
Hawkeye was in New York.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need a
Yeah.
crossover. I'm just wondering if it's going to be the same Christmas
Time.
or if it's
If
going
we
to be
have
after.
some kind of, well, they might, for instance, have a showing of the Avengers musical just to touch on
Yeah.
on the same season because they made up that whole Avengers musical thing during Hawkeye as just a little extra side bit of color. So if that's playing in Hollywood at one of the theaters or something at the same time, then we could probably figure it is the same season.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting way to link them up.
Yeah. Yep. I was going to mention that besides James Gunn, his his co-CEO is Peter Safran, who
Yes.
isn't a name I'm terribly familiar with, but he's no slouch over there either. Like he was the producer, for the entire Conjuring franchise, Annabelle.
So some good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he was the producer behind Aquaman, Shazam, The Suicide Squad, and he's the producer
Peacemaker.
behind Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, The Belko Experiment. She's just like a lot of stuff here.
Like they said, it's actually a decision that we could actually get behind
Yeah.
because it's people that have already shown themselves to be good in this sector.
He was a co-producer for the 1997 movie Rocket Man. So yeah,
he's got chops.
he's got some work there. Like he's not like this guy whose name has like been flashed up because he's not a writer, he's not a director, he's a producer, and so they're not generally quite as hands-on as writers, directors, but they do, they do some oftentimes, get involved with these kinds of projects, and I think him working with Gunn, I think is a good pairing. Like I noticed he's the producer for the
A few,
more popular DC movies. Like he didn't work on Man of Steel, he didn't work on
right.
Justice League.
So
I mean, you and
he
I,
hasn't worked with
we
Snyder
love those.
really. Yeah, it
We
doesn't
love
look
those
like.
movies.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't really work with Snyder much, but he's worked with Gunn a few times, and that's
He's
the
worked.
thing.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
worked with Gunn before, so they've got some working
yeah,
experience
if we're
together.
not going to get Snyder to come in, which I still say would be the best possible way to continue the DCEU, would be to get Snyder back and have him helm it. But we're probably not going to get that. Getting Gunn is a good second.
I don't know anything of. I have no idea if Snyder's going to be coming back, but I do know that Henry Cavill's coming back.
Well, I'm not going to spoil Black Adam.
Yeah.
I will just say Cavill's involved, but most people have heard the rumor.
Yeah. Well, Henry Cavill made a tweet where he did a video talking about how he's coming back to the DC film universe.
Extended universe, yeah.
Yeah. He's returning as Superman. Like he had a tweet that started off with a video of him in Superman outfit, and then it cuts to him just like with the camera talking about how something about hope is back or something like that, and he can't wait to show everyone what they have in store for Superman as he continues his, makes his return to the role for this franchise. So I don't know where that's going to lead, but I'm freaking excited because I think he's a great actor for Superman.
I'm not as big of a fan of him as the actor, but I want to keep the continuity of the Snyderverse, so I'm perfectly happy with Cavill as Superman.
Yeah.
And the rest of the people in the Snyderverse are ones I think are almost essential. So if that means that Cavill is the Superman, and I don't want him to change actors again, so I'm happy with Cavill being there because it at least keeps their continuity. And James Gunn, I'm ecstatic about hearing about James Gunn. So I really wanted to share this particular article because of that. James Gunn is a favorite of mine. Guardians of the Galaxy is in my top list of Marvel movies. And Suicide Squad is another one that's really high on my list. I anticipate nothing but great things coming out of Gunn. And really, it's a step up for a segment of the comic book movie industry that has been quite worrying because Warner Brothers Discovery has been doing a lot of moves that have scared a lot of us as far as things go. We've been really worried about our DC sector. I mean, the CW verse is kind of ending or transmogrifying. We're not sure if it's completely ending or what. But there's been some upheaval there. Then we've got the stuff going on with the Flash movie. We have the controversy over the Snyderverse, all these kind of things. And then the Discovery merger comes in and they start closing down movies like Batgirl. And it's just been so worrying hearing something positive like James Gunn being put at the helm puts the final shining North Star that we can head towards in the DC universe.
It makes me glad to see someone that we have witnessed do a good job at treating these characters be the guy that's in charge of this world. You know?
Yeah, he has the respect for the universe that it takes.
It makes me feel a lot more comfortable than just some guy from AT&T getting hired into the job, you know?
Can you hear me now? Okay, can you watch me now?
Was that AT&T? I thought that was...
yeah, it was one of the cell phone companies. It's one of the cell phone companies. I think it's Verizon. But still, get that guy to run your movies.
that same guy did commercials for both Sprint and Verizon.
He did.
Yeah, I forget which one he did first. The one he did first is where he said, "Can you hear me now?" But
right, and then he came in later as the new rep for the other company, basically making fun of his old commercials for the new company.
Yeah, freaking brilliant.
It was.
World we're in.
That's the guy we need to make the next Marvel. No, we still need James Gunn. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next topic, but that was a lot of fun and good news. It's nice to get some really good news.
It's like, I don't remember who it was. There was some guy whose job was like creating jingles and slogans for places, and he did one for one of the big fast food chains, but they like ripped him off. And so, because he got offended, he got so ticked off about this company ripping him off, he went to their direct competitor and did one for them for free that ended up becoming more popular.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
I don't remember which restaurants it was or anything. It was a story I remember reading a few years ago that just had me dying because it's hilarious.
Okay, let's see. Next topic.
I do want to say, though, I have seen some reviews. I'm trying to avoid too much information, but I did see a headline that says that, critics are harsh on Black Adam, but fans are loving it.
Yeah. I've heard the same. Some of the pre-screenings said it wasn't scoring as high as it could have with the critics, but fans are generally loving it.
Yeah,
and I did love it.
I will say I like from these franchises.
I'll say me and Ralphie loved it when we went to go see it. Okay,
Yep.
And you know us, we're comic book fans. So, let's see. Next topic we're going to talk about. Let's see. What's this one? This one is um, every U.S. PlayStation 2 game manual.
Oh yeah, this one was kind of a quick thing, but I thought this was just freaking cool. As someone who was
Love
like
classic
going through
consoles.
as someone who's going through his teens during the PS2 era, um, and I spent so much time playing PS2 games. Seeing that some people have took the effort to scan every single PlayStation 2 game manual for all the US games
In
into
4K.
4K scans is freaking awesome.
I see
Like
a
it's a
classic
huge,
that I used to play, Parappa the Rapper up there.
yeah.
Kick,
Was
punch,
there was
it's all
there
in my
was there a
mind.
PS2 Parappa the Rapper?
Yep.
I didn't play the Parappa the Rapper games.
Oh, I love that game. It was so silly. It was just a it was a Simon Says kind of game where you just had to hit the right button combinations.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah.
but he'd be up there with those paper mache characters. But kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find that that's when I teach you, sure to beat you. You know, like in your uh, playing with the character, and it was just a lot of fun. Just a really silly, nonsense Simon Says kind of game. Simon Says games can be fun, especially for kids, to teach them button combinations and stuff before they graduate into, bigger games. And it was just a lot of fun. It was a good follow the leader kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I love classic. Classic, of course, to me, classic is older than PS2, but this is now considered classic because we're at PS5 and PSVR.
I mean, the PS2 came out, in like 2000, so more than 20 years ago. Yeah,
Hey, hey, hey,
October
hey!
2000
You're making me
exactly.
feel old. Shut up.
So, oh my gosh, like yeah, is this tomorrow? Yeah, as of tomorrow, the PS2 will be 22 years old.
PS young. I don't care what you guys say, man. Give me an Atari 2600. Now we're talking old.
I mean,
A
the
ColecoVision.
I think the PS2 now is about the same age as the Atari was when the PS2 came out, right?
Something like that. Yeah. And most
Well,
people, I saw an article yesterday, day before, about gadgets that nobody remembers anymore from like the 80s and stuff, and it had a ColecoVision console as one of the gadgets. So uh, most people don't remember the Ataris and the ColecoVisions and the Neo Geo machine
okay.
and all those.
It's 1 year. Okay, so as of now, as of tomorrow, technically, the PS2 is like less than a year younger than the Atari was when the PS2 launched. The Atari came out in the United States in September of 1977. If it had come out in October '78, it'd be the exact same age. So,
That
I guess
shows you
actually,
that I
I
was
guess a
six.
year and a month, or no, yeah, a year and a month.
I'm dating myself. I was 6 years old when the Atari came out in the U.S. And I had one. Yes, I did. I got it. I
Oh,
got. And I had an NES when it first came out, and I had a ColecoVision, and I had a Neo Geo machine, and
so not quite a year. So yeah, so the Atari was 23 years and a few months when the PS2 came
PS2
out,
came out.
and the PS2 is 22nd birthday will be tomorrow.
Nice. Noise.
So yeah, I was just going off the top of my head, and I was
You were
pretty
pretty
much right
close.
there.
You were
Yeah.
pretty close. But then you are our console guru. That's one of the reasons we keep you around, boss.
I forgot the exact release date of the Atari, but I knew it was 77, 78. something in that ballpark.
I didn't do it in the intro today because, of course, game is no longer. But Lurch has been running the electronic gaming area for game all but the first year, and most of those consoles are actually Lurch's actual console. I mean, he owns over 48 consoles himself.
I need to take an inventory, but I think I'm up to 51 now.
Right. Well, we know it's over 48 because last time you gave a total of 48, and I know you got one or two since then.
I bought a PS3 at the expo. Someone brought in a PS3, a white PS3, so I bought it from them. And then just before the expo, I bought an SNES Classic, which is those little SNESs with with games preloaded on it that hook up with USB.
Right.
So
yeah, it might be at 53 or so.
And I got a Pocket Station like a week before that.
Yeah, you were talking about your Pocket Station.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he is our console guru. If you want to know about console games, old and new, retro and modern. Oh, looks like we lost a video.
Did you lose me?
Lurch. Yeah, you went back to your just hold screen.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't know. Well, while he's reconnecting, let's go on to my next topic. And my next topic is our Kickstarter for the week. And this time I think it's a pretty fun one because it is Cowboy Bebop, the role-playing game.
Hang on. Please start something webcam. What?
Irium webcam is what it says, or Trium or Irium. I can't see if that's an I or a T.
The wire for my webcam.
Anyway, this time around, Kickstarter is the Cowboy Bebop role-playing game. Now, a lot of us are fans of anime, know Cowboy Bebop. You know, Cowboy Bebop is a classic. I mean, they just recently did a live-action Cowboy Bebop. Now we've got Cowboy Bebop, the role-playing game. The official tabletop role-playing game for one of the most famous anime series ever. This is by Mana Project Studios. It is already funded because it was only asking for just under 20,000 US, and it's made almost 300,000 US. But we've got 21 days to go, so in my tradition now of trying to pick campaigns that have at least 15 days so people can get in on it, you have time to get in on this. It is a role-playing book to play in the Cowboy Bebop universe. It is for the 25th anniversary of this legendary series. Join the always cool Spike Spiegel, the investigative genius Jet Black, the alluring Faye Valentine, the amazing but weird Ed, and the super smart Welsh corgi named Ein, as they try to make a buck in the year 2071. How do they do it? They're bounty hunters. It's a great new project from Mana Project Studios. They're the ones that designed Journey to Ragnarok, Nightfell, which is an Emmy award-winning game. Historia, which also was nominated for an Emmy, and Norse Grimoires, Seven Sinners, and more. So they've got a few chops in the role-playing game genre. It's an Italian project, but it's presented in both English and Italian. It's kind of funny because the MMO that I play is Italian. The people that design it are Italian, Dynamite Studios. But we mostly deal in English there. But it is interesting to see. It's an anime that I think most of us really get into, at least to some extent. And you get the core book. Let me see. Let me go to the support levels. We have, let's see, $19 US, about $19 US, which is still $19 euros. So the euro in the U.S. is about the same right now. Is the red tail, which gives you the PDF and digital stretch goals. Then for $49, you get the Swordfish 2, which is let's see, shipping fees not included. You get the PDF and you get the hardcover. I hate the fact that it colors over, so I have to move my mouse. And then access to the digital stretch goals as well. And their delivery time, it seems like November 23. So not bad, about a year. And then there's some other goals. I'm not going to go through them all just because it keeps coloring over, and I hate that part of the display because it makes it really hard for me to read this stuff out. Oh wait, I guess I could hold the slider. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, this one's another goal. Okay, that was Swordfish 2. Then there's Hammerhead, about $100, $99. Shipping extra, of course. You get the PDF, you get the hardcover, you get 2 dice set of 9 dice. You get the GM screen. You get the quick start guide. You unlock the physical stretch goals, and as well as the digital stretch goals. And again, November. $159 is the Bebop. That gives you, the PDF, hardcover, 2 dice set, the GM screen, the quick start, the Risk Point chipset, digital stretch goals, physical stretch goals. Yeah, so it's not bad. If you want to come in and check it out, I do like to recommend a Kickstarter every episode or so. Some episodes we skip this part, but this is our current one. In the past, I've talked about 3D color printers. Flip dice was one that was great. We've talked about different board games, role-playing games, yeah. And it's just good to go in and back some of these crowd-funded projects and see what can actually get to fruition.
Yeah, the flip die that you talked about a few weeks ago, I pledged $190 to, $189 for.
Nice.
And it is up. I just pulled it up to check. 59 hours to go.
Yeah.
It said 60 hours, and as soon as it ticked over to 9 p.m., it switched to 59 hours to go.
Just remember, if you ever want to get rid of just one of those dice, it makes a great gift for certain co-hosts. If you ever want to just get rid of one of them, there's certain co-hosts that you know quite well that wouldn't mind it as a stocking stuffer. No. Anyway, let's see, because I do like those flip dice, but I've already done my supporter for Kickstarter this year. I support one Kickstarter campaign a year, and I have to force myself to only do one because I'm on a limited income as a disabled person. I live on a little over $100 a month, so I have to be really judicious about what I do. And I already support streaming completely by myself practically because I buy every frickin' TV stream service there is on the planet. So they're all living off of me. I stream everything. I have every channel. I shouldn't, but I do. And that takes a chunk of my money. But anyway, if you're going to try to back anything, look into the Cowboys Without role-playing game. If you're looking to add another role-playing game to your list, If you're looking to just get some anime fan type memorabilia stuff, it looks like it's got some great artwork from the original series in there. And if you like the Cowboy Bebop artwork and characters, then the book is good just to even have it on your shelf as a Bebop companion if you like it. Some people just collect everything Cowboy Bebop or everything anime or whatever, or just like to play and collect a lot of different role-playing games. So whatever your reason, this is one that's worth checking out. And we're going to go on now to Lurch's next topic, which is something with Konami, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yes, Konami announced the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah, so Konami has got a lot going on with Silent Hill. They're making a remake of Silent Hill 2. They're making a new movie, and then they got another new project, another new game, Silent Hill F. Sorry.
Yeah, we know you're still fighting that flu, but at least it's not the Rona. I mean,
yeah, that was confirmed.
It's
regular
just the flu.
regular old flu, which isn't nice, which isn't good, but.
But if you combined the Rona with that, it would have been bad.
Yeah.
Because the Rona can hit you, especially if you have another condition like the flu on top of it. That's when the Rona becomes deadly. It's not by itself. It's not nearly as bad as it is when there's another condition involved. Geekatard's here too, by the way. He's trying to feel better, Geekatard, but he did not get to go see Black Adam this week because of the flu, which is like a calendar event, the fact that he didn't see it and I did. Because normally he sees it before me, no problem. He goes like Thursday pre-release most of the time. I mean, for some reason.
I have tickets to see Black Panther on the Thursday night of its opening weekend, and
we haven't got our tickets yet, but me and Ralphie will go see it that weekend probably.
I'll be going to see Black Adam as soon as I feel well enough that I'm not going to be spreading anything to other viewers.
Right. And that's conscientious of you. That's good to hear. But it's good to see you, Guitard. See, what did you say? Black Adam is on my list. My nephew saw it and liked it. I saw it. It is an amazing movie, and that's all I'm going to say. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do our non-spoiler episode this week because I'm the only one of the two of us that saw it, and Angel's not here. But what we'll do is, if Lurch sees it before next week's show, we'll go right into the spoiler. If not, we'll push it back another week. But I almost guarantee you in the next 2 weeks he's going to see it. If he has to crawl there, he will see it. He'll be like, I'll just wear a hazmat suit, but I'm going. I could totally see him too. If Lurch had him a hazmat suit, he'd already be gone.
Heck, even here in the house, just to try to help keep Allie safe, I've been wearing a mask whenever I'm like walking around the house. And we're trying to stay out of the same rooms. And so like she'll be in the living room watching movies and TV, and then I'll go to the library and read, which I'm currently working on reading the Lord of the Rings books. I finished The Hobbit. I'm a third of the way through the Fellowship of the Ring.
Nice.
I'm looking at finishing the Fellowship of the Ring later this week, and then I'm going to try to get through the Two Towers before God of War Ragnarok comes out.
Nice.
And then I'll probably have to save the Return of the King until after.
So after Ragnarok. I love those books. I used to read The Hobbit twice a year religiously. Geekatard says once you guys are all caught up, you should do it. Yes. Once we're caught up, we are definitely going to do our spoiler version of the Black Adam show. In fact, depending on how everything falls out and what else comes out that week, we might focus a show on Black Adam and Wakanda Forever if we end up doing them both around the same time. We might just do a show about those two. And mostly nothing else because nothing else will have been come out yet.
Yeah, at least not for.
For a little bit, we don't have anything big coming out.
Yeah, we don't have any more Marvel shows right now, and I think the only DC show coming out right now is Stargirl.
Right.
Um, we do
And
have Star Wars stuff that I'm watching,
right.
but you're not watching
But I'm not
Andor.
watching the Andor.
And then we
We,
got Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, which is an animated shorts
that's going to be
series that
coming
they're coming
out.
out.
Right.
Um,
And then we,
so
you guys, and you still haven't watched Hocus Pocus 2 yet either.
no, and so that's part of the like I would have probably watched Hocus Pocus 2 without because we were wanting to watch it together,
And
but
you,
we're
but
limiting
trying
how
to
much
avoid
time we're in the
each other
same
right
room.
now. Right, and that makes sense. What we could do is we could do a combined show with Hocus Pocus 2, Black Adam, and Wakanda Forever. If it comes that we don't do it before Wakanda Forever comes out, then we
Yeah.
can combine all three into
So
just one big media show.
we watched Stargirl together. We watched the latest episode of Stargirl together before we knew I was sick.
Yeah, and we're gonna cover Stargirl, of course, on the show. So that'll be later on in the episode. What else is Geekatard saying? Just put a spoiler alert in the description in case I'm not cut up. I watch streams offline if I ever miss one. We do our media at the end of every episode. We do the media stuff where we do spoiler heavy stuff about like Stargirl. So that will have spoilers when we get to that section, which we do every week. So I'll warn you again, but we do usually put a spoiler alert in the actual. We talk about the spoiler alert before we go into it, just to make sure to let people know that we're going into spoiler territory. And we do tell you when we're doing movies if it's the spoiler-free or a spoiler episode. And usually what happens most of the time is the first week a new movie comes out, we do a spoiler-free episode first, and then a week or two later we do the spoiler-heavy episode after everybody's had a chance to catch up a little bit. Because not everybody's like us. And the Geekatard says, perfect. Well, that's what we like to do for our viewers.
Okay. He wants to hear some more about
now it's more about Silent Hill, yeah.
Okay. So
and while you do that, I'm going to go get another drink.
You have to pardon my voice here, Geekatard, because I'm still getting over I'm at the tail end of the flu, but still hitting me. So yeah, we're getting a remake for Silent Hill 2, which I presume is going to be like a full-on remake. It's coming to Steam and PlayStation 5. Apparently it'll be console exclusive to PlayStation 5 for at least a year after launch. And then after that announcement, they also announced Silent Hill Townfall from developer No Code. They had a teaser that shared the game offered little in the no way of game details. But it says it's going to be something a little bit different than normal Silent Hill stuff. So like we got a lot of Silent Hill news here. And I'll be honest, I'm not super into the Silent Hill stuff. Is my camera looks dark.
I don't know. Like I said, I went to go get a soda, so I'm not looking at the screen. I'll be back in just a second. If we're having camera trouble, I'll see if I can fix it.
Okay.
But
So,
yeah, I'm not a huge Silent Hill person either, so.
Yeah, so we got the Silent Hill 2 remake. We got Silent Hill Townfall, which is a new Silent Hill based, game. And then they got a new movie, Silent Hill 2, or they're calling it Return to Silent Hill. Being directed by the director of the original 2006 movie, which, yeah, they don't have a lot of information in terms of like releases, but there is a few teaser trailers.
I'm gonna put the link for this page in the chat.
Go ahead and share the link for the article. we got to be careful about trying to show like any kind of footage because
Yeah,
we might get copyright strike kind of stuff.
copyright music and copyright footage
And
that we don't have
and
permission to show.
while I could try to talk about what they show, I don't have enough knowledge about Silent Hill overall to give much context to what they're meaning on some of these things. But so what we're sharing is this Game Informer article.
Right, and it's got a few different little short trailers. Look like they're in 4K too.
Yeah, and so something funny when I saw the first Silent Hill movie. That I was a teenager when I first saw this, and my brother was a couple years younger than me. And we went and saw the original Silent Hill movie, and they were in this house that was very obviously burned, right? And then one of the characters was like, "Oh, it looks like there was a fire. Like everything's charred. It looks like everything's." And she's like, "It looks like there might
Thank
have
you,
been a
Captain
fire."
Obvious.
And my brother blurts out, and this is like the midnight preview of the movie, right? You know, we were at the
Yeah,
late
at the
night
theater. Yeah.
preview, and my brother's like, "No shit, what? You think?"
Nice.
And it managed to take what's supposed to be like a tense moment and made it funny. And
I don't
honestly,
remember.
it was an asshole thing to do, but fuck it, he was like 15 when he did it. So
I don't remember what movie it was, but there was one movie I went to, and uh, I don't remember who I was with or whatever. I blocked part of it out. But there's this one point where this dog was running away from something in the movie, and the girl I was with stood up and just like, "Run, Poochie!" in the middle of the movie. Uh, oh, we lost your cam again.
I was trying to. I saw that it looked frozen, so I was
Yeah,
trying to
I don't think it was
see if I
moving
could
completely.
unfreeze it.
Everybody laughed hilariously when the Run Poochie thing came up. I don't even remember now which movie it was, but it was just so iconic that it happened in the middle of the movie. It was great. I'm trying to remember what movie it was, but it was just so funny that it happened, and that's the thing is you love those movies that get you so raw that even in the theater you sometimes forget you're in a theater and you jump up and react like that, and nobody in the theater is mad at you for it because they're just as intensely into the movie as you are, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, we understand it, and your cam is good now, even Geekatard can see you moving.
Excellent.
Got it, two thumbs
Excellent.
up. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
I've now realized that there's a short in the wire for my cam, so I'm
uh,
gonna need to replace this cam.
yep, you need a new cam or a new wire or something. Do some splicing work. Anyway.
But what I'm curious about though is this Return to Silent Hill movie. Something I'm curious about it is they say it's an adaptation of Silent Hill 2. But I'm curious if they're going to try to also make it still a sequel to the first movie.
That would be my guess. Trying to do.
I don't know the story behind. I don't know how much the story, how much the movie stuck to the game, the
Right.
first movie and the first game. I imagine it changed a lot, like the old Resident Evil movies did.
Being that I'm
But
not a Silent Hill fan, I couldn't follow it myself. So
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Konami then also shared some more of their plans for the Silent Hill merchandise. They showed some, they got some high-end statues of characters like James Sunderland and Mario from Silent Hill 2 were shown. And I'm just reading this straight off of the Game Informer article. That they had a non-canon dog ending in Silent Hill 2, where James learns everything happened to him is being controlled by a dog. Plush of that mastermind dog will be available soon.
That's just funny. Okay.
And then they also announced Silent Hill Ascension is another new Silent Hill project that they're describing as an interactive video streaming experience with the tagline "Face your trauma together."
Nice.
Like I
Nice.
said, it's a multiplayer game that is got a few development partners, including the Daylight creators, as well as J.J. Abrams' team of Bad Robot Games.
Bad Robot Games. Nice.
So,
I love Bad Robot.
little was shared about it, but it sounds like it's going to be a narrative-driven multiplayer game, kind of like maybe Until Dawn or something. Maybe it's going to let people like make choices as a vote or something like that.
Like Detroit Being Human or something like that.
Yeah, but with like people voting for it instead of
Right.
one person.
Right. Well, we'll see. But
and then and then one last item here. Finally, the presentation ended with a pre-rendered trailer for a new mainline Silent Hill game called Silent Hill F. The trailer for the game showed a young woman walking through a Japanese town dragging a pipe along the ground, much like Pyramid Head, dragging his sword, eventually being consumed by flowers. No information on the release date or what kind of game that one will be. So that's it. That's everything I got for Silent Hill 2. PC, PlayStation, or Silent Hill stuff. Big day for Silent Hill fans. I'm not a big Silent Hill fan, but it does have me excited because it means Konami is getting back into the business of making goddamn video games.
Right?
Which means maybe we can get some Metal Gear.
Yes. And he does a little happy dance.
That franchise has been on the shelf for too long. I know Kojima's not around, but I'm sure someone out there can give us some good Metal Gear content. Besides, so far everything Metal Gear related that didn't involve Kojima has not been good. Everything involving him, I find amazing. Hopefully, we can find someone that can fill the shoes a little bit.
Spiritual successor. You need a spiritual successor to Kojima. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's a lot of Silent Hill news. Okay, we're going to go on to, let's see, real quick mention, I'll move on, this isn't a full topic, but it is the 25th anniversary of Metagames here in Springfield, and so this Saturday, they're having their 25th anniversary game day celebration. They'll have 10% off of all board games, and they're going to rotate staff in and out of working so the staff can come out and play with people at the game day. None of them will be working the whole time. Everyone will get a chance to do some games. So that'll be a lot of fun. There'll be some prizes and everything else too. Metagames has been a staple for 25 years here in Springfield. They moved from their smaller corner location to their bigger location in the same complex. In fact, they bought the building, and they've got a bigger space. We've been using their gaming rooms. They've been sponsors of Game and the Picnic at the End of the Universe. In fact, a lot of people may or may not know, but at the Picnic at the End of the Universe, it is their sponsorship that always provided the hot dogs and hamburgers at the picnic. So Metagames is a big supporter of the local gaming community, and so come out this Saturday on the 29th for their 25th anniversary game day, and then the next day we're doing a big Ravenloft Dungeons and Dragons raid. So if you want to get involved in a raid type of event, come on out and check that out as well. Now, this is just not a topic. It's just a real quick blurb just to let you guys know this is what's happening here in the Ozarks. Unfortunately, Geekatard, I know you're not here in the Ozarks, but if you were, you would be welcome to come in. And if you're ever in the area, you're welcome to join in on the festivities. Would love to meet you because you're one of our longtime listeners and viewers. Anyway, going on, I did also have a real quick mention of some of the all-new Halloween candy you need to know about for this year. Every year they do some special Halloween candy because, I mean, no offense to Easter and Valentine's Day, but Halloween is the candy capital holiday of the year. I mean, no holiday does candy like Halloween does. Let's see, we've got M&M's Cookies and Screens. We've got some green-themed ghoulish green candies from different Mars candies. In their Rubicon, they've got the Witch's Brew Kit Kat has come out now for Halloween. We got the Reese's Franken Cup, which is a new green-colored cream with the milk chocolate. What else do we got this year? We've got the Hide and Eeks, which looks like the gummy eyeballs. Always fun for kids' parties. I love gummy eyeballs. I like gummy anything, but anything Halloween themed and gummy at the same time, you're going to win with me. Gummy spiders, gummy eyeballs, gummy bats. I mean, let's go to town. Then we've got the hot chocolate bomb, which I think these are the ones that the mix. You drop the bomb into the chocolate and it melts, and it's like a little skull bobbing in the hot chocolate. So that's pretty good. And then we've also got the Hershey's Fangs, which are cookies and cream flavored. And Haribo has got the sweet or scary mix, which of course Haribo makes a lot of the gummy bears and stuff. We've got stuffed puffs, which is basically marshmallow puff candy with the chocolate center, pale green. And then we've got ghost dots, and there's a Shrieker's Skittles. I don't know what's they're just a fun-sized Skittles bag that's Shrieker themed.
What was that? What's that called?
Shrieker's Skittles.
Shriekers.
Yep. And then we got an autumn mix of Brock's.
That one I'm gonna have to pick up.
Yeah, because you like Skittles.
Skittles is my favorite candy, so I'm gonna have to pick up some of those.
Yeah, like I have a Stranger Things thing of Sour Patch Kids that I haven't even opened because I'm keeping it for the box. Brock's Autumn Mix, if you like candy corn. They've got the classic autumn mix with the little pumpkins and the different Halloween-themed candy corn. Which the difference between regular candy corn and Halloween-themed is the Halloween-themed has the dark bases as well as the white bases. Is the only real difference in candy corn. A lot of people don't even remember that. They just think of candy corn as a Halloween candy anyway. We got pumpkin spice Oreos. Now that sounds interesting. And that's just some Halloween candy and treats from some of your favorite production, Mars, Brock's, Haribo, and Nabisco.
Not sponsored.
not sponsored, but and this is from Today's website, the Today show. I figured it's the Halloween week. I wanted to pull out all the stops and do some different Halloween kind of theme stuff. So we did the thing about jack-o'-lanterns at the beginning of the show. Now we've got your candies. We're getting ready to go into our media thing. So I've got my From the Vault. Then we will do Stargirl. And then we'll pretty much be done for the night. And it looks like we'll probably have spent just about enough time this time. Our From the Vault this time around is, of course, keeping with the holiday theme. We've got all of this Halloween stuff. So let's do a horror movie. Chucky. Let's talk Chucky. Now, if you've got Peacock, then you've got the Chucky TV series. You've got Child's Play 2, 3, Bride of Chucky, all but the first Child's Play and the new remake of Child's Play are for sure on Peacock. The remake might be there as well. I didn't look. But there is a Child's Play collection. It's got Bride of Chucky and Revenge of Chucky and Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3. They just don't have the original Child's Play 1. I'm not sure why. But
that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what, but they also had the Child Play TV series, and of course, season 2 of that is getting ready to come out. It's not out yet. Um, but join your favorite uh, possessed doll with the spirit of Charles Lee Ray, the serial killer, the voodoo serial killer that actually keeps his soul inside of a doll so that he doesn't die to the death penalty. He gets reborn into the good buddy doll. I forget what the name of the I think it's the buddy doll or something like that. And goes around and terrorizes the little Andy.
So hey, I know that's the plot of the original movie. Are they doing it like that in the TV series now? I
In
haven't watched the show yet, but I
in
did
the
watch the
TV
rebooted movie,
series,
and the rebooted movie is different.
in the TV series, the doll goes to another kid who's a little bit older, and
Is he possessed
like
by voodoo?
he's a performance artist who ends up getting the doll at a like a garage sale or something, if I remember correctly. It's been a little while since I watched the series. It is available on Peacock if you got Peacock. Otherwise, you might have to go find it on one of the free streaming download sites. You might, I don't know if it's available on Pluto or anything like that yet.
I guess I'm just trying to find all I'm really looking for is he so in the reboot movie? So, I mean,
he is
just
a voodoo possessed toy in both.
Okay.
That part is consistent.
Okay, because I know in the reboot movie he's not. In the
No.
reboot movie he's just a glitched high-end
toy.
AI controlled toy.
Right. But in the original movie series, he's a voodoo slasher.
Yeah.
Who uses voodoo magic to keep his soul alive, and then he has to kill the first person he reveals his secret to in order to move his soul to that body. Otherwise, he'll end up being trapped in the doll as the doll becomes human, but he doesn't want to get stuck in the doll. So he keeps trying to take over Andy, the first person he revealed his secret to, which is the little boy that was his first owner as a toy.
Yeah.
And that's why he keeps following Andy around. And then what's great is Jennifer Tilly comes in later on with Bride of Chucky, and she gets throughout later episodes, and I do believe she's, if I remember correctly, even in the TV series. So we get some Jennifer Tilly playing both Jennifer Tilly and his girlfriend, who is voiced by Jennifer Tilly, who ends up possessing Jennifer Tilly, I guess, is the goal. In part of the theme of, I think it's Seed of Chucky, is where she.
Seed of Chucky is where they have the kid.
And that's where she takes the body of Jennifer Tilly. I think in Seed of Chucky is when she actually possesses Jennifer Tilly.
Bride of Chucky is where Jennifer Tilly becomes a doll.
Well, that's where he gets the girlfriend, who is voiced by Jennifer Tilly, is Bride of Chucky. But I think in Seed of Chucky, they actually feature Jennifer Tilly as Jennifer Tilly being possessed by the character of Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah. I think they're trying to start a family, and so they get Jennifer Tilly pregnant.
The
actress, she's playing herself.
Yeah, she plays herself and the doll.
And they get her pregnant with voodoo
magic.
With voodoo magic semen.
Right.
So that that can be their child together, and then she's gonna then eventually kill Jennifer Tilly or whatever and possess her body.
Right.
And then Chucky is supposed to possess the guy that she had last slept with. Right.
Because he finally found a way to possess somebody other than Andy. because
Yeah.
originally he had to possess the first person he told his secret to,
Yeah.
which is why
That
the
shit,
first 3 movies he's after Andy.
that shit was funny.
Yeah, but it was great. The whole convoluted thing in Seed of Chucky was the fact that we had Jennifer Tilly playing herself, and then Jennifer Tilly voicing Charles Lee Ray's girlfriend, who's trying to take over Jennifer Tilly, the actor.
Yeah.
And it's so convoluted, and they brought that over. If I remember correctly, they brought it over into the TV series as well, and Jennifer Tilly guest in the TV series as well, if I remember correctly. I have to rewatch the TV first season.
Yeah. I can't say anything about the story, but I'm looking at IMDb and it shows Jennifer Tilly in the credits for the TV series of Chucky.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought she was in there too. I just hadn't rewatched that part. I did rewatch 2 and 3 today of Chucky. And in 3 of Child's Play, that's the film that features the carnival ride from the carnival I used to work for. So you don't see any filming of me, but some of those carnival rides are actually rides I did the inspections on for safety. So that's another link up between me and Child's Play, because I was part of the carnival that was featured in that movie. I was one of the ride inspectors at the time, because I helped run Kittyland. And the Kittyland rides, you see just a little bit of the dragon wagon in one of the scenes in the movie from my carnival.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so that's our From the Vault this time around, because there's so many great horror and slasher movies out there, both campy and not so campy. Like I rewatched Killer Clowns from Outer Space on Pluto, which a lot of people don't realize Christopher Titus is in.
Really?
Yeah. It's his first screen credit, if you look on his IMDb page. He was in that movie. So look for Christopher Titus. I'm not going to tell you where he is, but he is in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's why I rewatched it recently, was because of Christopher Titus. And we have determined also, on the topic of Christopher Titus, that if anybody's funnier than Christopher Titus right now, it's his freaking wife, Bombshell Ray. She is hilarious. My girlfriend is in love with Bombshell Ray.
Oh, yeah?
She loves Bombshell Ray.
I didn't realize his wife was a comedian too.
The comedian that opened for him is his wife.
Is she?
Yes, that's his wife. That's his second wife.
I don't remember that coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't say it during the show, but yeah, we looked it up and double checked. Bombshell Ray is his current wife. Did he say it during our show? She said it. She made allusions to it when we watched. But that is his wife, and she's hilarious. She was great. My girlfriend's in there yelling. She still likes Christopher Titus better, but she loves Bombshell Ray too.
Rachel Bradley, huh?
Rachel Bradley is Christopher Titus's second wife. The one that he talks about that he got with later that was just drop dead gorgeous and a genius and had 2 degrees and stuff, that's Bombshell Ray.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rachel Bradley. And she's hilarious. I love her. And she co-hosts his podcast.
Oh my gosh, her bit about different kinds of drinks was pretty good.
her bit about everything was pretty fun. I mean, the whole show was great.
When I was seeing her show, there was, because a large part of her set, I'm not sure about on your night, but on the night I saw her, a large part of her set was about cancer. And, she talked about how her mother had cancer, and that was why she wrote this whole big thing. One of the people in the front row was a surviving cancer patient who just came clean like a week or 2 before the show.
Right.
And still bald from the treatments and everything. So he was having a good time with her set.
Well, like
Uh,
I know that in your show you had somebody yell at the end, "You're going to hell," which
it wasn't at the end. It was somewhere in the middle of
somewhere in
Titus's
the middle
set.
of Titus.
Someone yelled, "You're going to
Yeah,
hell" to Titus.
which in rural Missouri makes perfect sense. That's a successful comedy show when they yell that. Then in ours, we had the drunk in the front that was so politely asked to leave by Christopher Titus. It was just great. He did like a 5-minute TED talk on comedy and hecklers and stuff, and it was great. Uh, I really recommend it. If anybody out there watching gets a chance to go see Christopher Titus live, do it. I think Lurch would agree. It's a show worth seeing. If he comes to the Blue Room again, I think we'll go watch him again. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we will be there. It was worth the money. And we like the Blue Room so much. We're looking forward to another good comedian coming in. We don't know who will make it in, but if somebody really decent comes in, we're going to do it again.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
It might be something interesting to do if the right comedian comes in and if we get tickets early enough, we could get a four-seater with maybe you and Allie or something.
This weekend we're getting Maria Bamford. She's freaking hilarious.
I don't know her.
You don't know Maria Bamford? She's
No.
this like really kooky, really skinny, pale blonde chick who I remember one of her
Maria
funniest bits was
Bamford.
talking about her mother thinking that she doesn't do enough to look pretty, and so one day to mess with her mother, whenever she just before her mother came home, like put like lipstick like all over her face, like drawing on it, and then whenever her mother came in, she's like, "What did you do?" And she's like, "Do I look pretty now, mother?" Ooh, in December we're getting Ismo.
Maria
Also getting
Bamford. Oh,
TJ
okay. I
Miller.
think I've seen her.
Yeah, I
We're
saw
gonna get
her a few
TJ
years
Miller.
back whenever TJ Miller's coming to town soon.
Well, he's pretty good.
In,
He's
in
from
early December.
Deadpool. I don't know
So
if we're gonna do another one before December, but if
I
another
don't know who
good one comes
Mojo.
in,
Carolyn Ray, isn't that the woman from Sabrina and the Teenage Witch?
yeah, that was one of the two aunts,
Yeah,
Caroline Ray.
she's November 4th and 5th. She'll be at the Comedy Blue Room.
Huh?
Comedy Club.
Caroline Ray is coming in. She knows. Okay, she knows more than I do. She probably follows the Blue Room. She gets their emails. She says so. She gets their report. Anyway, we're going to go into the last bit of our show for the last 20 minutes, which is Stargirl. And we've missed a couple of episodes of Stargirl because of Lurch not being completely caught up. So we're going all the way through to, was it Infinity Inc. Part 1 is the name of this week's episode, which features the return of Green Lantern's daughter, Jade.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
She didn't do much, but
she didn't do
finally.
a whole lot, but we get the return of both the Shade and Green Lantern's daughter, and we see at least a glimpse of Green Lantern's daughter's brother, her twin. But we don't get a whole lot of details. This is part 1, though, which means we're going to get part 2 this week, hopefully, to finish out this. And, of course, this is spoiler territory, guys. They start out, they're getting ready to investigate whoever it is that's been spying on everybody in Blue Valley. So they're like making a show of having dinner and trying to act normal when they know they're on cam so that they can black out the cams to catch them. But then they get pulled away by the Shade, specifically Pat and Courtney get pulled away by the Shade to come help Jade rescue her brother from Helix House, I think it's called, or the Helix Institute. Isn't that what it was? Something like the Helix Institute? Something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. I think that's right.
The Helix Institute, which is where we know from the end of the previous season is where Mr. Bones is.
Yeah.
And he's got a direct interest in metas like the Green Lantern siblings. Because, of course, one of the most powerful things in the galaxy is the Green Lantern rings. And Jade especially is a living Green Lantern. She basically produces Green Lantern energy from her body that she inherited from her father. Which is, her father, for those who don't know, is Green Lantern 1 or Alan Scott. The first Earth human Green Lantern. The Silver Age and Golden Age Green Lantern before we got Hal Jordan and John Stewart and Guy Gardner. But before all of those, we got Alan Scott. Now, if you remember from the original Green Lanterns, from back in the Golden Age comics and stuff, before they did a change, it wasn't the color yellow that the Green Lantern did not work on. It was wood. Anything wooden, for some reason, that it didn't work on. Then they later on changed it to where it didn't work on anything the color yellow. And the Green Lantern was the opposite lantern.
I mean, his Green Lantern power is like more magic than the sci-fi version of the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, Alan Scott, they never really mentioned the Corps involved with Alan Scott in the original.
Alan Scott is not connected to the Corps. It's not the same source for their power.
Right. It wasn't until Hal Jordan that we really got the Green Lantern Corps.
I think the way that modern comics define it, I think, is he taps into the power of willpower, but differently. And so the way it's presented, the way it's visually seen, and the way it works is very similar enough to keep the name Green Lantern, but the specifics of how it's made and how it's tapped into is different enough that
he's probably tapped into the same power source, but he didn't get recruited through the Corps. He got recruited through the mystical arts somehow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like he's the Shazam version. Like Shazam is the Superman of the mystical part of DC. Alan Scott is the mystical Green Lantern as opposed to the alien sci-fi Green Lantern that is Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner and John Stewart and Kilowog and all of them. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of Green Lantern goodness. Well, not quite a bit. It's just the tease now going into more. I think they're leading up. There was enough of the at the beginning. They kind of showed in the recap. They talked about Rick disabling the limiter on his hourglass, so we know that they're building up towards the consequences of disabling the limiter, but they didn't actually show it yet. They did point it out, though, because he used his strength when they had blacked out the cameras for a bit. And Beth, I think it was either Beth or Wildcat who turned to him and said, you activated the hourglass just for that? He says, oh, no, I don't have to worry about it now. I've got it all the time.
So he's kind of becoming an asshole too with it.
Oh yeah, and we think that is probably one of the side effects that the limiter was put in for, is because the overarching power without a limitation to it can turn you into a dick, basically. With great power, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So additional power corrupts additionally, I guess. So, you become a bit of a prick and kind of full of yourself and stuff. And I think that's one of the side effects, and the power will eventually overcome him. I'm anticipating, because almost always, especially in comic book lore, that's almost always a side effect of something like that. So they're building up to something like that, for sure, for sure. Um, but it's nice to see the Shade again. I actually like the character of the Shade. I think he's a fun little anti-hero kind of character. His on again, off again kind of ally, enemy, frenemy thing fits the whole frenemy theme this season. Um, so I think it fits. And I would like to see the Green Lantern kids become permanent JSA members.
Yeah, me too.
They're pretty powerful, however, because the Green Lantern is a powerful artifact. But I mean, so's the cosmic staff. So I mean, then we've got the freaking pen that does everything. And a lot of people may not realize Seth Green voices the pen.
Yeah, he does.
You know,
For the whole
thing. Yeah, he is the genie in the bottle, basically, of the pen. It's Seth Green.
I think he recorded all of his lines for the entire season during a coffee break from Robot Chicken or something.
Yeah, right. And it's really just another Robot Chicken kind of character. I mean, really, he's just voicing an inanimate object. It's like, hey, Robot Chicken. But it's great to see fan service, like getting someone like Seth Green to be that voice, though. That is something I, as a fan, appreciate because I love Seth Green, too. So if you haven't had a chance, check out Stargirl. It is available free on the CW app. What they do now, if you have not watched all of this season, you may not get to see. Well, no, right now, even episode 1 of this season is still up when I last checked. But hurry, because usually they only go back 5 episodes. And there's like 6 or 7 episodes out now. So before they pull off a couple episodes, if you've not seen this season, go to the CW free app and watch all of Frenemies. And then you can catch the older episodes on HBO Max. And I think they're also on Netflix. I don't remember. I know they're on HBO Max. But I think they're also going to... I think in the future, with the new upheaval with Discovery and stuff, they might be going to Netflix before they go to HBO Max from now on. I'm not sure. That's still up in the air because the whole Discovery link has thrown a major spanner in the works when it comes to DC projects. But right now, I know you can watch all of the current season of Stargirl on the CW app, and then you can catch some of the older stuff on CW Seed as well. Another thing for people to check out that has just started on the CW app, and I don't know if Lurch has started watching it yet, is the Winchesters. Because the first 2 episodes are out. I won't spoil any of it since you haven't seen it yet. But the first 2 are out. And then the first, I want to say, 5 episodes of the new Quantum Leap are out. If you want to check out the Quantum Leap reboot. Not reboot, but continuation. Because it's 30 years later, but it's in the same universe as the original Quantum Leap. They're just continuing the project. And Ernie Hudson's in it. That's the reason to watch it, nothing else. Ernie Hudson's great. There's so much coming out in nerddom, it's hard to keep up with everything. I mean, with The School for Good and Evil just came out on on Netflix, to mixed reviews. Some people liked it, some didn't. I thought
was watching it. Hang on. Allie.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear what she said about it.
Oh, you know what? I think she has her headphones in and doing RP at her computer.
Oh, okay. Then she won't respond right now.
I was going to say, if I remember correctly, I don't want to misspeak, but I believe she watched some of that School of
Good and Evil,
and she said it was okay, but a bit childish.
I could see the childishness, but I actually kind of liked it. But critics are not liking it, and they're saying it's another failure for Netflix to try to establish a new big universe for them. I mean, Netflix has been doing a few false starts. The only thing they've done that's really been successful recently is Stranger Things. Stranger Things, and possibly what you call it?
Man.
Well,
I don't know
that
what the
we're
partnership
hoping.
on that was.
We still haven't got it still hasn't got renewed yet. But there's that one what you call it? The Zack Snyder zombie one is getting a sequel that should be good. Army of the Dead or whatever, with Dave Bautista, the one that's in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, I think that's called Army of the Dead.
Yeah, Army of the Dead. That one has a potential, and then that's Zack Snyder, so of course, it's got potential. But I don't know. Netflix is having ups and downs, trying, but they're doing some of the same stuff that Warner Brothers is doing. They're canceling stuff if it's not hitting their expectations, even if it's performing pretty well, but it's not meeting their goals. And that's the thing. I'm not sure if they're going the right route, because some of this stuff is actually doing pretty good. On the other hand, it is sparking some of the fans to come forward and rallying behind the ones they really like. And that way they're getting direct feedback so that they can possibly change their mind on some things. Because there's a couple of shows that I know there's a few people rallying behind that may end up getting picked back up. Like First Kill, there's a big move to try to get First Kill back. And a couple of others who have been on Netflix recently, they got a series and it ran and it did fairly well, but then Netflix canceled it. And they've done that with a few series now, and they've even canceled at least one thing before it even came out. There was a new cartoon that just got canceled.
There's a tricky balance between how much it costs to produce and how much subscriptions are being held on to it.
Yeah, they have to really kind of balance it. And with streaming, it's kind of weird because they can't always figure out if people are streaming because of that show or just happen to be watching that show since they're streaming anyway. And so Netflix and the streaming services have to do a delicate juggling act to determine where their money is best spent. That's why they're doing different contracts and stuff with certain actors for several shows. Like Adam Sandler has a Netflix contract right now. Apple TV has a couple of contracts with people right now, just to try to get some exclusive content to try to see if they can make it work. But it's getting juggled up and down, and you really gotta have to voice your opinion if you want some of these shows to get their second season. Like, we're diehards wanting to see Sandman come back. But there's a lot of people that have not said it. Let's see. Geekatard says those Stranger Things kids are growing up quick, so I'm curious to see next season. Yeah, me too. Do those shows on Netflix get paid more if there is more viewers, or is it a flat fee per release? I'm not sure what the contracts are for the individual shows. Some of them I think are somehow done via residuals, but I think a lot of streaming shows, because you can't always track the metrics, are paid a flat fee, plus there might be a bonus if it goes in the top 10.
Netflix can definitely track it.
But
they don't.
But I don't know what's in the contract. Yeah, and I don't know what's in the contract for the people producing. I do think they get a bonus if it gets in their top 10, though, because Netflix they openly publish their top 10 every week. You can see what's the top 10 things being viewed on Netflix every week. and they make a point of saying who's the number one thing every week. So they probably get some kind of bonus or acknowledgement if they're a top 10. But even being in the top 10 doesn't guarantee you a renewal. That's the thing. It's really kind of up in the air because, like Lurch said, there's the cost to make. Because, like, Stranger Things cost a bucket of money to make. It's a great show, and it's one of the most popular things to ever hit Netflix. But the cost to benefit analysis is up in the air. We don't know what all those underlying numbers are. And that's the thing in the industry, especially the streaming versus regular broadcast TV industry, because broadcast TV has things like the Nelson ratings and stuff like that that's more trackable, that plus commercial revenue.
Yeah.
Because they track
it. It's a lot easier for the general public to get an idea of how much viewership a show has on regular TV or even on cable. But on streaming services, all that stuff is locked behind the providers of the streaming product.
Yeah, the demographics is not as easy for us to see. And the streaming services, the numbers that they look at it are skewed. They're not absolutely sure if you're watching it because it's on their service or if you're watching it for that series. You know, because there's a lot of people that watch everything on Netflix just because they have Netflix and they're bored. And then there's other people who watch it specifically for Stranger Things, specifically for A School for Good and Evil. If, you know, they're getting Netflix specifically for that offering. And they have to
Netflix,
gamble which one it is.
Yeah, like, and Netflix like kind of looks at their analytics and they try to figure out, are they getting subscribers for this show, or not? And that helps. That that goes into their decision making on how much budget to afford for a show.
Yeah, they basically have to look at every single offering they have and say, is this driving streamers, or is it just a fringe benefit for streamers? Is it one that, they'll watch because it's there, or is it one that they're actually subscribing to watch? And the ones they want to throw the most money at is the ones that people join just to watch, like Stranger Things. There's a lot of people that just join for Stranger Things. Then when it's over, they'll drop their membership until the next big thing they want to watch comes back on, and then they'll start it for a month or two and stuff. I mean, we used to do that. I mean, and before we were reviewing stuff on the show, I used to do that with Disney Plus. I only turned it on when they had a good Marvel show on, and then I turned it off when they didn't.
Netflix's strategy, because they do it like in these large drops, basically what they try to do is they try to at least have every month a major show that is going to be the show that draws in subscribers.
Yep.
And whether that's keeping you from canceling or drawing you in to watch.
Mm-hmm. And keeping you from canceling is, if anything, almost more important to them than the getting you to subscribe one, because keeping you from canceling means they're getting recurring money.
Yeah.
The subscriber, you might subscribe, watch it, then cancel. Subscribe, watch, cancel. That person, they like your money to get it periodically. But the person who subscribes and then almost cancels and says, oh, no, I'll keep going for another month because this is on. Oh, I'll keep going. Could keep being talked into putting more money into their coffers. And they like that person. Just like they like the person that subscribes and then forgets they even have a subscription, but they keep paying it anyway. That's money. They like money in the bank.
Absolutely.
That's what they want. They want those long-term subscribers. The spot subscribers are good. The long-term monthly subscribers are their bread and butter. And
of course, they
need new content to keep that up to a certain level. But anyway, thank you for joining us, Geek at Heart. It's always great to have you here. You are probably our most common chatter. So, I mean, if I was to give an award, if I could give a gift sub to anybody, I would give you one, just because you're like our most common chatter. But thank you for stopping by. You always actually interact with us, which we like because we don't get as much interaction. For those who watch this on Restream, or for you to tell your friends who might want to watch it, Geekatard, of course, go to YouTube, look up Gamer Seuss. We will be in the Game Time playlist, so you can watch it again. We are so glad that you are here, Geekatard. Me and Lurch do appreciate it. Hopefully Angel will be back with us next week. It does sometimes depend on his work schedule because, of course, as you've seen on other shows, he's actually streaming with us while he's working his other job, because he does own his own company and he does do some work while he's working with us. But he comes in. Yeah. He's a great resource. So we do miss him when he's gone. Don't let us think that we can do the show without him. I mean, we can, but, you know, it's so much better with him, which is why we did invite him to be one of our hosts, and we look forward to seeing him again next week.
Yeah.
We will catch you guys next week. We will have at least more Stargirl. Hey, maybe by next week, Lurch will have seen either Quantum Leap or, what was the other one I mentioned? The Winchesters. Then we could talk about the new Winchester show, new Quantum Leap show, if nothing else. And maybe we'll have seen some Black Adam by then, and Angel will be here, and we can all talk Black Adam with spoilers next week. Always insightful. We like hearing that. Thank you, Geekatard. We do like the positive feedback that we're giving you some good insights. We will catch everybody next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. In the words of Stan Lee, Excelsior! Have a great night, everybody, and catch you next time.
So, bye.